Good Monday afternoon, and God, I thank you for the opportunity just to say, God, I thank you. Before I dive into what I really want to talk about, let me remind you. Open enrollment is going on right now with most jobs. So in the midst of you choosing your benefits, please make sure you take short-term and long-term disability. Make sure you do that. It is needed. It's not a want, it's a need, so figure it out. But I want to talk to you today. If you don't know, I haven't heard, there is a strong possibility, let me pull back on the word strong, there's a chance that this 40-day-old shutdown could possibly be coming to an end. On last night in the Senate, 8 of the Democrats actually voted with the Republicans for a clean CR. And here's what's included. It would include that SNAP, food stamps, food subsidies. It will be funded for a full year. So if by chance in January this comes up again, the food part of things will not be something that we need to concern ourselves with. It included that the furloughed employees will be brought back and they will be back paid. Also, none of the federal employees will be laid off, and we can get back to some normalcy. As far as the ACH credits, also known as Obamacare, that's not in there. But it opened the door, and this is a part of it. In December, they will visit this, and they will negotiate to see whether or not they can come up with a plan for the health care. Now that I've shared that, and choose your words carefully, I'm sitting and I'm listening today to the powers that be. And let me say this. If I was a senator last night sitting in Washington and this came across, would I have voted to give a clean CR to open up the government? Probably not. But now that it's been done and I had a chance to sit and I'm thinking about everything and what happened, I can disagree, but I understand. And I understand from this standpoint. We have families in America who are not able to take care of the bare necessities of feeding themselves and their families. We have military personnel who are standing in lines at food banks. You've got federal employees who are not being paid and haven't been paid for the last 40 days. And a lot of the people that I'm listening to who are making statements, comments about the Democrats gave in, they fought for that, all kinds of negative things. Choose your words carefully, because in my opinion, and I give you my perspective on this, that's not the case. Because the ones that are saying this, the politicians that are in the White House, they're not dealing with this situation. And here's what's really crazy. I believe that this administration wants this chaos. So even though the senators have done what they did, it's still got to make it to the president's desk, and he's got to sign it. And he might not. Something had to give. This is called negotiating. A lot of saying the Democrats could have did what they did today back then. No, attention had to be gained, and they got the attention. But everything has to have an off-ramp, and the off-ramp was what they decided to do on last night. I'm not upset about that. I can agree to disagree respectfully without being upset, because at the end of the day, I'm thinking from a standpoint. Families were in disarray because of everything else that's going on a political level, and it has nothing to do with the individuals in the house that can't feed their families and pay their bills. It's an ongoing fight. But it's a fight that right now is still ongoing, because this still has to be signed by the president once it gets through the other chamber. If it gets through the other chamber. I still believe the chaos that we're seeing and we're dealing with, this is what was needed to continue to promote the bigger gain from this administration. Create chaos. Create chaos. And how do? You do that. Take something that we've all taken for granted, the ability to go and eat. Take care of our responsibilities. And here we are. So I'm saying this to the ones that are just jumping on board and falling in line and listening to the ones that are talking the loudest and not doing a little bit of research. Consider humility, humanity. People need to eat. If you had gone to work for the last 40 days and did not get a paycheck, to the ones of us that are not caught up in that situation, how would you feel right now? And if there was a chance that the opportunity was being given that you could get your money to include your back pay, and I can feed my family, pay my bills, I think you would understand where I sit right now. It's bigger than choosing ugly words of they gave in, they caved, they're weak. They're not weak. Honestly, it's strategic, because they did at least get an opportunity that come December, they're going to sit down and they're going to discuss the ACH credits before the end of the year, with the hopes, and again, the hopes that our healthcare will not spiral, get out of control. But I want to take a step back and remind you of something. We're sitting in the situation we're sitting in because a lot of the people that may hear me chose not to, last November, to get up and go do what you should have done and cast a vote. And here we are. Consequences of the decisions that we make. Votes do matter. It's been proven yet again. Stop with the name calling. If you have never done the job that's being done, be careful on what you say you would have done compared to what you didn't do, and just sitting back saying something that really carries no weight. This is difficult for all of us because we're not used to this, and it did need to come to an end. And hopefully it will, because remember, it still has to make it to our president's desk, and he has to sign it. We don't know if he will. Be blessed on this Monday. And again, choose your words carefully. See it beyond yourself. Be blessed.